Hello, and welcome to this final boss fight D&D game. My name is John, and I am joined by Clappy.
Hello, it's Clappy.
By the Rogue Trader Enthusiast.
Hello, it's Rogue.
By Ben, the Quest Giver.
Hello, it's Ben.
By the Angel Games Player.
I'm a cat. I got this.
Damn it, you spoiled our fun.
And by
for years.
And by Smitty.
Good evening, everybody, and good night.
All right, bye-bye, everyone.
All right, we're done here. Good night. Last time, we're here to play Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Last time, the group continued to explore through the castle that you'd found mysteriously floating in a cave in the dungeon. You traversed more of the mid-level that you'd apparently skim explored, but you went into depth. You found some new bedrooms that you hadn't gone into. You got blasted by magical paintings. You found a nautical themed room with a ship in a bottle. You made that ship in a bottle grow to its regular size, scaled to the castle.
I love how you're saying you as if I'm not the one who did all of that.
It's sort of
caused chaos.
A royal you.
Like a royal we.
A royal you.
A royal dumbass.
And before we finished the session last time, you settled down in the dining room and you are having a meal and a long rest before you leave the castle. Is there any discussion amongst the group you wish to have before you leave the castle during this long rest?
Is anyone worried about the fact that we haven't seen any of those giants?
What?
Yeah. I mean, the giants are
Tiny bit.
outside of the castle, so I don't know. Weren't they?
I'm less afraid that we haven't seen the giants because we haven't seen them, heard them, felt them, or walked around. So currently believing quite safe, at least for now.
Yeah, but that means that they might be back when we leave the castle. I don't know about you, but I don't like the idea of being wasp-sized versus a giant.
Well, there is one little benefit to that side, which is you'll be wasp-sized and very hard to hit. Have you noticed how hard it is to hit a wasp?
I mean, he's got a point.
Not that hard.
Oh.
My goodness,
now
your
you're-
dexterity must be a lot better than I was expecting. Then again, I suppose I'm not so much on the physically active. I'm very allergic to wasps.
Yeah, that'll make a difference.
Oh, well, I'll leave the physical attributes to you lot, and I'll just carry on with my intelligence.
Oh.
Just thumb through a book.
Oh yeah, speaking of that,
Why do I feel like he just called us stupid?
I'm saying that our primitive skills are different.
I'm definitely feeling like he's calling us stupid, Vason.
I think he just called you primitive.
I said our. That is everyone, not just you.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, but that does mean, like, in a group, you're still calling me primitive. Hey, Vason, batter up.
No. Bad.
No, we need him to figure out how to move the castle.
Okay, I guess.
Actually, there's a point. If you figure out how we can pick up the castle without getting small on the outside.
Not entirely sure. I can have a little play at it, and we'll see.
That's a no.
That is not a no. The fact of the matter is more trying to identify...
You literally just said...
Hush, hush, hush. There is more along the lines that I need to experiment first. It does not mean that I'm not unknowing of this. It just means it requires a little understanding. Just a moment to comprehend and to identify.
Have you had the
Anybody
lobster
else
yet,
buying
Toya?
that? Huh?
Have you had the lobster yet?
Yeah, it's delicious. You should try some.
Basically just bites into a lobster, does not take it out of its shell. Just earth-shattering crunch.
Crunch.
Yes, different skill sets. Different skill set. Plus,
I do believe we killed him. Hooty up.
I'll just have the soup.
It's
Not
just
so
a
harsh
finger
on my
floating in
teeth.
it. There absolutely has to be bits of finger floating in it because, I mean, why else would this guy be killing all the wizards? He's a cannibal.
I'm going to put down the soup. Put that away now. I'm going to just breathe.
I mean, everything was a person at some point.
Hey, is that book, like, bound in human skin?
Some of them are, but not necessarily this one at the moment.
Oh, no, you're right, but wow. I'm liking the human hair that he used to, like, tie the spine. Didn't realize you were into that. I wonder which wizard's hair this is.
It's different it being a book than eating it. I have a strict no humanoid diet. That's it.
Yeah, okay, no, that's fair. Does that mean that you want, like, the other books that are made with human flesh? Pretty
yes,
sure I
of
saw-
course.
I mean, pretty sure I saw a really nice pen that he probably crafted out of finger bones.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Tools are completely different. And these are the tools of my trade.
Very true, very true. Even if they were made by a mass murderer out of other wizard body parts.
Do you know how amazingly a finger pen can write? They are very hard to get your hands on, and no, there was not a pun attached to that.
I was about to say,
I mean, obviously it wasn't attached if we're making pens out of it.
I know, right? I'm like, I've got 4 of them right here on my hand, so I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about.
Oh, dear God, what have I started? Mind you, my dear, to be fair, your claws, if a person was so inclined, they would make a wonderful... I'm going to stop talking. That's probably not a good thing to talk about to a person who could disembowel me quite easily. I'm just going to leave it.
Vincent's just shaking like one of those like lobster tails in his hand as he's saying this, mouthful of food. How are human books on the whole like vegan thing?
Well,
Really good question.
I suppose if they volunteered, I've known a few wizards who have done that in their death. Giving it
but I
out as
feel like-
a part of a will, a belief that they have magic inherent in them. I know many a sorcerer has done that, usually to spite wizards, but it doesn't stop us from using them.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're murdered by a guy, he's not really asking your permission.
Oh, yes, but we were just asked about the vegan alternative. And I think the most vegan alternative is when they give you permission. I mean, when you
yes.
talk to animals and ask them whether they don't mind giving you a leg, it means it's fine to eat it.
Well, yeah, true, but none of these books that you are currently using are vegan alternative. They were literally the victims of the serial killer you're afraid of.
Yes,
It's
but
my
luckily
point.
I didn't kill them, so it means it's not so bad. And To leave them and to throw them away is to waste their dear corpses. Would you waste the corpses of pure, innocent, potentially innocent wizards? Would you?
Absolutely, but you are asking absolutely the wrong person that question, so...
You're the one asking! I've got to respond somehow!
Nefarious, are there innocent wizards?
He hasn't figured me out yet, has he?
What?
Do you think there are innocent wizards?
I mean, I imagine possibly, but why do you want to know if there's innocent wizards?
Just in theory.
Of course there are a lot of innocent wizards. I mean, there are whole sects that literally give up every sin just so that they can study.
No,
I'm not a part of that. They're clerics. Yes, there are clerics who do that as well. There are also clerics who are nasty. That doesn't, just for the sake that it's what you do, doesn't define you. Yeah. Okay. There. Back to the book. And yes, I don't care that it's made of human skin.
What are you besides a wizard then?
I am Hargate, and that is all you need to know. All that matters is I am me. Maybe one day you'll be so secure that you will say that you are you, and that is it.
Mason is giving Toya a knowing look the entire during this entire last second tirade.
Why is it so hard to have an intellectual conversation with the inept?
The excuse me?
Inept. It's a word obviously you don't understand.
Oh, we're going that route, are we, mister? I'm gonna play a prank and cause the poor cat to have a complete mental breakdown. Is that where we're going, mister?
Okay,
then.
boundaries, lines, people. Please no.
Written lines? You must be joking. You have been pushing my buttons this entire time.
Well,
Yeah, we've got you to a point. Just don't break the buttons.
Hold on. I believe that there is a spiritual being above us that needs to say something.
Do you guys even need me at this point? Shall I go for a bit?
All right, back to the chaos. Right.
I have this weird feeling that my god is mad at us for some reason all of a sudden, and I don't know why.
Not just one, I'm sure of it.
Unis Alatus has redeemed a stretch and would also like to say, sorry I can't be there tonight. Jen cause as much havoc and chaos as tabaxily as possible.
Don't give permission!
Woohoo! I have permission to cause chaos. That's even better.
We're gonna need to hide the catnip. I don't know why I bought catnip. I thought it was gonna help the situation.
We have catnip?
I'll say the catnip's over there, and I just point at Zara. Okay, we should probably get some sleep before we head out.
Agreed.
Is the wisest thing that has been said this whole evening. But while you do that, I'm going to try to identify as much as I can. So I'm going to go in the corner and concentrate. I can't move. I'm stuck to the table by superglue.
Can't move. It appears that the universe is frozen in time.
I'll let time move again. It's fine.
I literally just go to the corner whilst they are all trying to concentrate and pulling out one of the books and letting pages flittle past. I use my divination savant to allow me, basically trying to touch and feel the castle and try and feel the spells which are affecting it, and see if I can figure out any way that I might be able to transport it.
Okay.
Stargate, molesting the castle is not the same thing as focusing.
Which is a fun little thing to be able to use, but it just means I have to sit by, and it takes time. The more of the object which takes requiring to think, the longer it's going to take.
Hargate, did you get permission from the castle to touch it that way? I don't think you did.
You're just going to
Go
see
to sleep.
bright shining coming through the red lenses. It's just concentrating on it. Almost like I'm silently muttering as well.
Toya looks at Vason and digs a marker out of her bag. No one knows where she got it. Hey, Vason.
Toya, no.
No. No. We've done enough. I was going to say we don't need to watch, but I think we might need to watch each other.
You guys are no fun. Okay.
You know, I'll take first watch just in case something comes into the castle. I'm just going to pull up a chair outside.
Oh, God, going after you.
Hargate.
Yes.
During your evening of concentrating on the magic within the castle, you find a great deal of enchantments and spells have been cast on this miniature castle. You learn that throughout it, as you previously have seen, there are coloured glass blocks embedded in the interior walls that have the continual flame spell enchanted to them. You also learn that Madgoth's magic keeps the temperature inside the castle at a steady level.
No.
And this can also be adjusted via the control panel that you have played with previously. You also learn that the entirety of the castle, the walls and the exterior doors, have been rendered impervious to damage, and that they cannot be altered except by use of the wish spell.
Interesting.
Beyond that, you would learn that this castle does indeed belong to Madgoth. A claim to the castle is thus far unchallenged by any legitimate rival.
That's Dragonist.
Because
Maybe a fairy dragon, but like he's a legitimate rival.
as you would know from this spell, Hargate, I'm going to just tell you because I find this bit of the book funny. The right to ownership that Otto claimed over the castle was predicated on the "I found it and it's mine and you can't have it" rule, which Madgoth would not subscribe to.
Would I know what method he would subscribe to?
A more powerful wizard might be able to convince him it's in his best interest to not use the castle anymore.
I know I'm not in this conversation, but I'm assuming if he was dead, that would also count.
That would also be a means by which he would no longer lay claim to said castle.
Just checking.
So by the fact that I can still feel that he has claim, that would also presumably suggest that he is...
You presume that he is still active, if not, under the strictest rules, alive.
That's my favorite sentence. Not under the strictest rules alive.
I see. For the sake that I'm looking in particular about any way which we might be able to move the castle, do I come across anything which might suggest that I'd be able to move it without it increasing in size?
You do not. You are not sure from this spell if the enchantment that keeps the castle the small size that it is and everything, or almost everything within it, shrunk, is something that is an inherent property of the castle, or is a property of the spire over which the castle is currently hovering.
And the last question which I would ask is, do I have any insight on that shrinking spell?
The only thing that you can pick up is that there are certain magical creatures that have been rendered immune either by strange happenstance of their magical nature or by Madgoth's particular experimentations with the shrinking feature of this space. You know that Otto seems to be unaffected by warrant of his own magical nature, but you will also pick up that the homunculus is specifically designed to not be shrunk by the spell.
Interesting.
So you glean from that there is some aspect of the shrinking spell that is under Madgoth's control.
Yes. In which case there's no chance of being able to move it, nor being able to recreate a situation in which I'd be able to take it around. Unless we find a way to best Madgoth, and perhaps that won't be, but that would require quite the feat. But still, for now, I do not believe that we have much need. Very well. And with that, I believe that is the end of my identifying streak. It seems quite improbable that we'll be able to move it, at least by what I have at the moment. So I wake up and start sort of coming out the trance and saying this directly to the room full of sleeping people. Oh, I thought there might have been someone who would be interested.
I do like the idea that you have like a dictaphone.
What I would love is if I could throw this one somehow, of literally having I want to have while I'm doing these sort of things, I'm able to jot down notes anyway, but I would love for it to be that I can talk to the quill, and the quill writes down everything which I've been everything I've been saying. I would love to have that magic item just sort of say that I would not stop talking throughout this entire adventure, just transcribing things to go, making sure the pen only listens to my voice.
If it helps, Zara, who's probably sitting in a corner with Toya's head in her lap, would be listening and would nod when he comes out and starts explaining things. So that's the sort of thing she'd be interested in.
Zara is also quite interested by the quill that is currently writing itself over the book.
Toya tried to get her one, but it attacked her, so Toya ate it.
When you say
It's an
attack, did it attack Toya or attack?
Yes.
It attacked Zara. Like, Toya gave it to Zara, and then Zara tried to use it, and then it attacked her, so Toya ate it. And then Zara asked Toya where she got it, and Toya was like, well, see, there was this castle with an evil mage in it, and see, there's your problem. It was an evil mage, sweetie.
Perhaps I might be able to acquire another one for you. It would have to wait until the next time we go up, but I'm sure I could acquire one which would be enchanted to you.
I mean, that would be greatly appreciated. I mean, also, there is not a lot of shopping availability down here, so...
No, I can imagine. I've only had a few experiences down here, and I'm not quite sure that the Goblin Village or any of the other things I've been told about would be quite up to task.
They've not quite got magic items in stock just yet. Amazing woodwork, though. They've come on leaps and bounds with their carpentry skills.
Oh, well, that's a wonder in itself. That's wonderful. But well, perhaps a carving kit from them instead.
We're just not discussing the fact that Toya has a precedent of stealing things from people.
Vason.
It is one of those things that... Oh.
Vason, could you roll me a perception check?
Ooh. Sure. I will, as soon as I get my character sheet to cooperate me. Perception. One day I will have a character with proficiency in perception.
Your time on watch passes without anything of interest really occurring. You do hear in the distance the homunculus tidying its space, but it does not come anywhere where it would bother you.
Fair enough. Mason will just cycle in and tap Nefira on the shoulder.
Your time's up, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Alright then. Big high five as I walk out and sit on the chair. Also, just realised the robot's outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I left them out there on purpose.
The shield guardian is just sort of...
Do you have a light that you can just scan with?
A light just turns on inside the shield guardian's helmet, and it just like... and just starts casting a light up and down the corridor.
Right, good. One of us is doing the job. I'm gonna go back to sleep.
I was going to ask you for a perception check, but if you fall asleep, then that's...
It does make things a bit harder.
That's fair, so I'll roll a perception check for Steelheart.
That's not a bad roll.
Yeah. Your watch passes, and several hours later... No, the morning eventually arrives, and you all come to consciousness.
Oh, man.
Steelheart doesn't realize that he needed to wake the next person up for watch. And nobody told him, so...
Huh?
You just see this light going up and down the corridor outside the room.
Turns out he makes a really good lighthouse.
You can turn that off now.
Oh,
Also, word of advice: sleeping in one of those chairs is a bad idea. Christ, my back is everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's why I slept in the corner. Much more comfortable.
Aurelius just stands up, gives a twist, and you just hear every vertebrae in his back just crack, 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 crack. And he's just like, "Oh my god!"
oh my God! What on earth happened to your back?
I slept in a weird position. It's fine.
Huh? Remind me
You are-
never to sleep in that position.
None of you look after yourselves properly. As Mason's like just does like a full like stretching himself backwards, bends like his head almost back behind his knees and then back up again.
Toy's doing something.
No cracks.
That's looking after yourself.
Can you teach
No,
me to do that?
That's the result of looking after yourself. Flexibility.
Like,
I'm so glad I leave all the physical stuff to you.
Toy's kind of in a similar position, but she's sort of on the floor on her side, curling backwards, stretching her arms and legs, fingers flexed, claws out, fangs gleaming in the light.
Zara just looks over that and goes, "Big stretch."
It's very unsettling how much this relationship veers from being romantic to Toya being someone's pet.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, there's a word for that, but I really wasn't going to mention it, but...
No kink shame. It's okay.
I'm not king shaming. More importantly, how many people can actually fly? Because I don't want to have to carry everyone out this time.
How far do we need to go?
I mean, last time we just went and we just landed in the front room, so I guess. Oh god, roughly how long was it? Because I know I did more than one trip.
I mean, the castle itself is 80 to 90 feet up in the air. From the castle to the edge of the cliff face is at its shortest point about 55 feet away. So depending on if you want to
fly.
If you want to go across to the castle ledge, the cavern ledge, or head straight down to the floor of the castle, you're looking at anything between 50 and 80 feet.
How did we get Steelheart in here?
He was already in here, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Nope.
No, we picked him up in the dungeon.
We also had, don't forget, we had my floating disc.
That's how we did it.
I think, yeah, it was the
Floating disc, they
disc.
helped us getting in, yeah.
Sorry, Hargate's
Right.
floating disc.
Hmm.
Definitely not
Yes,
anybody
no one
else's.
else's.
All right.
Yes, mine especially glows.
Can we get some pastries to go?
A
Which
bag
kind
of
of magic is that?
a bag of pastries after a few minutes floats out, and you can see like the bag is slightly old but serviceable. The pastries looks like they were possibly cooking them for breakfast and have just sort of found something to wrap them up in to go.
Thank you. And Mason just starts passing them out as we get ready to sort of leave. Gotta have something for breakfast. Look after yourself.
All right, I'm going to take us over to the map screen so that we can see the map.
Are any of them tuna flavor?
There's a potential chance. You'll have to carry on eating them to find out.
This one was pecan, so...
You really just bites into one. Ugh. Here you go, Toya.
Yes! These guys are great! Look at that!
They actually made one with...
Well, they
Just
knew
putting down mine and say, it's fine, I don't need that.
They knew they had a guest who liked tuna. They were being respectful. Don't be
You really
rude.
just
They
picks
worked
up.
very hard.
Hargates that he put down. Bites into it. Raspberry.
Raspberry. Oh, never mind.
Hargate, one thing you're going to learn
You
is
could open it up and look inside. Why didn't you look inside?
Hargate, sweetheart. One thing you really have to learn now that you're part of this team is take what you get and hope for the best.
That is horrible advice. My God, just take what you get. No, bother.
He's the man who has a book made out of dead wizards.
I heard that.
Was I whispering? Like, he says that like I didn't intend for him to hear it.
I'm just gonna close the door.
Is Jen moving their token tonight, or?
Oh, sorry. I'm kind of...
She was distracted by the tuna pastry.
just a little bit. Okay, and open the door there.
Okay, so who is flying?
I've got draconic flight, so I'll be using that. So I can possibly carry someone.
You're probably gonna have to carry me.
If we're going all the way to the thing, I can teleport someone, although I will have to go last. Because there will be a lot of noise when I move.
I mean,
Oh.
how long does my flight last? About 10 minutes. So if Hargate has the disc and I'm carrying Hargate, steal Heart and then grab a bunch of people and just fly back and forth with Hargate acting as some sort of like anchor for the invisible disc.
Oh, I see what it's like, hey? Right.
Literally being an airlift.
I will wild shape into something that can fly. And I don't know if I'm able to wild shape into anything big enough to carry anybody, though.
One moment.
I'm gonna say that would be like CR 2.5 at this point.
My CR can be up to 3.
Ah.
It looks like.
So you could be a giant eagle,
Okay.
which would be big enough to carry a medium-sized creature.
All right, so I'll do that and be like, all right, who's riding?
How long does your wild shape last?
Wild shape lasts, if I'm reading this correctly, 4 hours.
If you're gonna do that, I will not use Dragonflight just to conserve resources.
Sure.
So if Hargate's riding
All
you,
right. I'll ride the eagle. Do you have a saddle or anything, or do you mind me holding on to your feathers?
No, it's fine.
Okay, right.
I'm gonna.
You can't just ask a man if you can grab his feathers. How offensive! Jeez,
It is
Hargate.
better for not saying anything at all.
I'm going to assume that
You
this
must
conversation is happening before you turn into an eagle.
I'm going to say it's
Yeah.
around about the same time as you're doing that.
Oh no, wait.
Let's say,
They
Well,
changed
if I
that,
remember
didn't they?
correctly, I can still talk while I'm in.
Yeah, I forgot they
Wild
changed that.
now. Yeah.
Ethan, did you hear that? Just that assumption that he can just grab a man.
eagle! It's not an assumption if you're asking for permission. It's like
Right.
it's like a sub asking a dom whether they can do so. That is the wrong conversation to have here with you. That is for a different place with different people of different understanding.
In fairness,
Yay.
it's more polite than like when somebody someone just starts polishing my scales. It's
That's
very
true.
unsettling when someone does that without asking.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
That is
Exactly.
very close to a euphemism.
who is going first?
I think it's Clappy with Hargate and Steelheart, and then I think we're going in groups after Steelheart.
Okay, so Clappy, you get to the door and you fling forth your wings with Hargate clutching to your back for dear life, and you take flight out of the castle into this great dark cavern outside, and you get about
Hell is that, Ben?
What?
Sorry. I hate to interrupt, but there's a very long stream of text that's just appeared. Apparently from Ben.
What?
yeah,
Where?
that's the spell of Tensor's floating disc.
Oh, that one. Sorry, I put that one out a while ago.
That's a completely different script to me.
That's a different script.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you can't read it.
Oh my god.
That's interesting.
all I see is Tensor's floating disc.
I'm gonna
here.
refresh just to see if it's just a bug.
I was going to say that is. I'm currently in common. So
Like, legitimately, I thought like maybe John was about to declare something and accidentally used you as the voice.
Yeah, no, that's
no.
definitely in common. Why are
I
you
was
can-
starting to wonder whether maybe I'd hit something, or just when sometimes you hold one letter down on the keyboard without realizing it, just gets that going on forever. I thought I'd done that. Which is kind of impressive with a quill which talks. Not talks, it writes.
Vason's just spontaneously forgotten how to speak common.
one smack on the head. He's just lost the language.
Honestly, Draconic is a more civilized language anyway.
Don't show that, John. They'll all know where we're going.
I will log back in a moment. Things are being awkward on my end. But please carry on.
Clappy? Aurelius steps to the edge, spreads the eagle wings wide.
Eagle.
Do you does Hargate ride on your back, or do you clutch him in a claw?
I think at first he'll be riding on my back, but I
Okay.
feel like as we take flight, I'm gonna be like, you don't have to hold on that tight, and kind of buck him off and then catch
Yes,
him.
I do. Can I make a dexterity
With my
check
claws.
or something to see if I can hold on?
Do it.
There,
Yes.
everything's fixed itself.
Would that be a contested strength then for me?
What kind of check would it be? Would you like?
Comedy.
I'm going to say, Clappy, you can make an athletics check. Ben, you can make athletics or acrobatics to try and keep hold.
Here we go.
All right, 1 sec. Get my D20
Stop
out.
that!
Damn. All right.
That's the best roll Hargay will ever make on
Oh my
acrobatics.
god.
All right, Hargate, you hold on.
He's just got a death grip on those feathers.
Yeah.
You are,
Ow!
you are knocking me off. I am not having it. I am a wizard. Do not underestimate my power of squirming.
You get out into the darkness of the cave with the disc floating behind you with Steelheart stood upon it, and you go 50 feet out from the.
He's doing the Iron Giant thing, of he's just got his arms out wide.
You get about 50 feet out from the castle, and you realize that you should be seeing something at this point, when all of a sudden the relative sizes shift and you suddenly grow back to your full height, and you come to realize that the 50 feet or so that you've traveled from the castle is in fact only about 10 feet from the castle.
Oh dear.
The moment we pop out, can I look around for a giant?
Yes.
Perception check?
Yes, please.
Nine!
You focus, but at the moment, all you can hear is the wind whistling past your ears. The height you are above the ground, you find your concentration somewhat drawn to the fact that you are whizzing through the air on the back of a giant eagle.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're flying through the air. Cue the rest of the snowman.
You get to the edge, and Steelheart steps off of the floating disc.
I'm guessing we've come over here. But then again, I'm on the back of Clappy, so I'm stuck with Cole.
That was just some lag. Guys. So nothing to worry about.
Who is going in the second group of people?
Who last, just in case anything happens and someone needs to, bring up the rear?
I was going to say Vaser was also going to volunteer to go last.
I'll
Too
build
late.
some-
Nobody wants to go next. How about that? Seems I'm the bravest here.
No, I just do not have the energy to put up with that smugness.
So Clappy and Urania will go next.
Clappy.
Nefira and Urania.
Nefira and Urania.
Yeah.
Clappy's already out. As before that, as we get to like solid ground and Hargate dismounts, I'm like, you have got a lot more strength than I gave you credit for. That hurt.
Well, no one has ever said that of me before.
Never underestimate the strength of a coward.
You're not there. You can't be sarcastic if you aren't there.
Oh god.
Toya in the castle is just suddenly like, I feel the urge to be snarky coming on.
I thought that was just your
Urge
default
never
behavior.
leaves you. We know that for a fact.
And then I'll bring out. Yeah.
Just the temptation just to leave the floating disc just hovering out 30 feet away and just kick my feet over the edge of the cliff and look out at you when it comes down to your turn over here, Toya.
Zara and Nuri come out next.
Do it.
And then it comes the time for Vason and Toya.
And yeah, just hold them out 30 feet from us, just over the huge chasm. Just sit down and think. Now, have you ever heard of a game called Gladiators?
Have you ever heard of the word jump, motherfucker? Woo!
I was going to say, just before we leave, Vason in Draconic does just sort of like, almost to the air is just like, we'll be back, Otto. Doesn't expect Otto is going to be in earshot, but like, He at least says it.
So, how you feeling over there?
Better, because we don't have to deal with you.
You know I can drop the concentration anytime.
You know I can jump.
30 feet? I think that's even beyond you.
No, actually, I think with the new rules, I have this weird feeling that I have suddenly gained the ability.
Also, they're standing next to me. A little bit of a lightning, a little bit of a boost is in effect.
Like, I'd have to clarify with my god, but I'm pretty sure.
Your sword lets you fly.
My sword lets me fly, motherfucker. I forgot about that.
Carrying you!
So long. I've been waiting for so long so you remember your sword has spells.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh.
I can fly, sucker.
Why?
She literally is going to leap off halfway and use her sword to fly the rest of the way, just
What?
manically laughing.
What was that about breaking the concentration?
I have no issue with you. Bring Basin over, just literally walk over. Come on, just get over here.
You're no giants.
I know, it's wonderful.
Toya,
Yes.
I mean, everybody else has seen this as well, but as you leave the castle, you see the ship, the boat,
Yes.
the long ship, still balanced above the courtyard in the middle of the castle.
To do that, let's see now. If I... Ooh. Do one of you guys have Mage Hand? Isn't there like a fancy spell that lets you like summon a hand?
Immediately look over at Hargate. I'd be amazed if you didn't.
I have Bigby's hand, not mere mage hand. Mage hand? Why would I be worried about mage hand?
Well, I don't know who Bigby is, but if I get near the castle, we're gonna shrink again. But if you use your magic hand thingy, you should be able to scoop it up and bring it over. Right?
Not necessarily. You know how I was identifying last night? Well, with my identifying, I come to a point of realizing that there is no way to determine whether the castle is there and the castle is shrunk by a spell on the castle or on the spire. Now, this could lead to some terrifying ramifications if it's on the spire. Whereas if I end up breaking whatever the spell that is, that it could suddenly expand that spire, which might envelop this whole area. The other side of things, if I break the spell which is around the castle, it could become the castle and envelop the whole area. And as well as that, it is currently owned, waiting for a champion to defeat its owner in glorious combat and prove worthy to take it.
Yeah,
Wait,
I don't
how
want
do
the
you know?
castle, though. I just want the ship. So that seems like a moot point.
I'll volunteer for the champion bit.
No.
Hey,
It's a wizard champion, my darling. Wizard champion. As for the ship, where is the ship? Where is that located?
Okay, you see that ship-shaped looking thing floating over the castle right in the center?
You see, Hargate, you would have seen as you left the castle, balanced over the courtyard, not floating, but perfectly wedged between the top walls of the courtyard, a long ship.
Right. All right. I can try. I can try, and then there's at least no saying that I didn't try.
Exactly.
So
That's all I'm
I go ahead and prepare to cast out Bigby's hand. This does also mean that I won't be able to do one of my larger level spells. I want you to know that. I'm basically throwing myself as, once again, as a terrible victim to your cause, whatever you might end up doing. I just want you to know that when it comes down to some of my stronger stuff might be restricted now, if that's not a problem.
I hate to be the voice of reason, but
That's okay, I have the sharp pointy thing, so I can stab things and keep you safe. That's kind of my job.
if you pick up the boat and bring it over here, it will then be boat-sized again.
Yes.
And I'm not carrying a boat.
Not necessarily. Also, like, we can always just put it back in the jar. And it'll be a shrunken boat again.
Do you know how to do that?
No, but I do still have the journal, and I'm sure there's a clue in there.
Give me the journal, I will have a read and figure out what on earth we need to do.
That's it. Why didn't you figure that out before we burn
Before
Hargate's juice?
Yes, let's figure out what needs to be done. You keep an eye out for any of these giants or whatever might coming round. And I will...
Keep an eye out.
Considering it's, like, empty down there, Urania, can you give me a lift? Sorry, Aurelius, can you give me just a little lift down?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take the journal and nestle myself against this
Found one!
little...
Found one! Let's get back! Let's get back! Let's get back!
With the journal, I'm going to start reading through.
Okay.
I'm back.
Roll
definitely
me
try
an
down
investigation check. Vason, you saw him before he saw you.
It's a 23.
Okay. He appeared to be going around the cavern, searching the floor.
Side, door.
Do you have any idea why he'd be doing that?
Maybe he's lost the key to get in.
No, that's to Aurelius.
Maybe he dropped something? I don't know. Aurelius is just kind of perched up on the cliff, just kind of like doing bird things.
I mean, I don't know we're here now and we're rested. We could go ham on the giant. And then
Aurelius
mine the mithril.
Aurelius preens a couple of feathers that Hargate left in disarray. Huh?
I reckon with all of us, we could take on a giant.
I mean, I am always happy to stab things, but you guys are always telling me no, so...
And there's a chance...
We can sneak around.
How about we make friends with it instead, as I'm literally just still reading and sort of half listening. We can make friends with it, you know.
With the giant?
Does anyone here speak giant?
Nope.
I can. I comprehend languages.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Focus on the book, wizard man.
Very well. I'm just saying it's an idea.
Friends.
Aurelius, can I like fly like over this way and kind of perch up on this? Would I be able to see him from here?
Giant eagle doesn't have dark vision.
Fair enough. So I didn't even see the giant when I dropped Vason off. Roger that.
Jason just going, I'm back.
So I'll fly over here and then fly back and be like, I've just realized I can't see anything.
Mason sort of like just rummages through his pockets and picks up those dark fishing goggles that Wall made for him. 1 second, let me just.
I like
I'm gonna ruffle those feathers.
I lower my head a little bit so you can get them on me.
And I put the goggles that Wall made for me on the eagle.
I love this.
You managed to sort of fit them in place, higgledy-piggledy, over the eyes of the eagle.
Does that mean
The question is, do they work?
They do.
Excellent. I'm going to fly back over. Thanks, Mason. And kind of... Can I do like a perception or investigation to try to figure out maybe if there's something on the ground that he might be looking for?
Yeah, roll me a perception check, but also roll me a stealth check. Both of these are in your giant eagle form.
Yes. So first...
Don't worry, he's a bird. He's got this.
I'll do my perception.
Oh no. The worst
25.
Okay.
And then I will do my stealth. 12. Oh, fuck.
Flies into a wall.
You land and you like preen your feathers and you sit up on the cliff face and you think you're blending in down here. Like you've not seen any others, but you know that you are acting exactly how a giant eagle would act in these caves. You look down on this giant and you can see that he is like moving around the cave floor and he is looking down at the floor. And like he's not moving at any great speed. He's not trying to get somewhere with any purpose. He's just sort of shuffling around, and like every so often he'll bend down and brush at the floor and then like be slightly disappointed and stand up. And like
sorry.
He notices
I was just gonna say, am I?
He notices the spire in the middle of the room, and you can see that he's sort of sizing it up. What's your question? Sorry.
I was just gonna say, do I like see anything on the ground that might be of interest to the giant, or is it just him like bending down and brushing away?
You can't presently see anything there, but you do get the feeling that he is trying to find something.
Okay.
You don't see what it is, and you don't see, you don't see at any point while you're looking at him doing this that he finds anything. You do notice several times he sort of furtively glances over at the spire, but also it's kind of like he's seeing it for the first time. And he's like sizing it up to be like, will that hold my weight if I try to climb it? Sort of, like trying to size up a tree the first time you see it to be like, I could get up that. That's the sort of look you get. And you can see as well, this is one of the first times that you're actually looking at the giant for any extended length of time. You can see this looks to be a young male of the species. Still about 10 to 12 feet tall.
Sure.
But, late teens, early 20s, sort of making their place in the world giant.
Gotcha.
Well, now I can't kill him, damn it.
I'd say that's the same age as Vason.
I draw the line at child murder.
Young adult.
I reiterate, That's the same age as Mason.
Okay. So I assume I'll need to do another stealth to fly back, yeah?
No, I'll use the same stealth check.
Okay.
It was just kind
I'll
of a
fly
general blending in with the surroundings and whether he would
Gotcha.
notice you.
Okay. So I'll fly back over and be like, so he's definitely looking for something. He's like, he keeps going down to the ground and then standing up disappointed. Also, it looks like he's trying to determine whether or not he can climb that spire. And I just give him all the information that I received.
I like to think, and Jen, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but for the 10 minutes that Toya has flight up, she is not standing on the ground once. She's doing that sort of Superman ballerina pose, just slightly off the ground the entire time.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
And then at the 10-minute mark, this is about 10 minutes, when Aurelius swoops back in again, the spell drops and you just sort of land on the ground. I'm just like, oh.
Superhero landing. Terrible for the knees.
We got an acrobatics check to see if that was right.
Yeah,
You
roll
actually
me
get
Sure, I wasn't going to make you do it, but you said it, so roll me an acrobatics check, Jen.
I didn't think she was going to be that far off the ground, to be honest, but okay. Okay, fine.
Just
Fine.
don't roll the 1.
Acrobatics. All right, am I close enough to Vason to get that on advantage?
I don't think I give you advantage on acrobatics. No.
I can't remember
I
what
give
all
you.
you give
I give
advantage
you
on.
speed bonuses.
Oh, okay, never mind
So
then.
you can fall to the ground
You get
faster.
to fall over faster.
Yeah. You're fine. It is like superhero landing. It catches you a little bit off balance because you don't expect the spell to give out. You're not used to casting spells and maintaining concentration on them. So when that sort of knot that's been in the back of your head for the entire time the spell's been up suddenly drops and you drop, it catches you off guard, but you land not quite a full 3-point MCU hero pose, but like you're steady on the ground and you maintain your footing.
Okay. That works.
Hargate.
Mm-hmm.
You read through the book for a while. 10 minutes has passed already.
Oh, it flies by when you're having fun.
You don't see any references in the book to the ship being magical.
Okay, so the ship's not magical.
You do pick up
Was it?
on the repeated phrase throughout the book that Toya picked up on and used in the previous session to turn the ship back into a ship. But you also are picking up that there is, or there previously wasn't, a magical aspect to it. It was just a turn of phrase that the captain of the ship enjoyed.
And there's no magical attachment to the jar? The jar doesn't do anything?
No. You get the feeling from reading this, and I'll say that it'll take you about half an hour of reading to get, to skim read enough to be like, you get the feeling that at some point a wizard put a curse or a spell on the ship, and without knowing what that was, that ship is staying ship-sized.
And you just see Ragate just sort of immediately drop into his hand and just glasses off, hands just sort of quickly rubbing his eyes. Right. Toya.
Yeah.
Flick for the glasses to go back on again. Right, my dear. The ship itself is... It has been enchanted, I suppose. It has been cursed, or has had a spell passed onto it.
Right.
But it is not inherently magical. And without knowing what curse or what spell has been cast on it by a pariah wizard, I can't see a way of getting it back into that jar. I do have identify, I suppose there's a chance we could go back and we could go back and I could identify the thing, but it'll take time again.
Yeah.
Are
maybe
you
use that
desperate
magic.
for it?
No, I just thought it would be cool and it might be useful in our adventures, but like, I get it. Like I said, I mean,
It's
you
one
gave
of
it
those
a
bits.
shot. I appreciate
As I say, I can't do anything here. It just means going back again and taking more time. I feel like this should be more of a group decision than just placing it on you, but if I go back and I can identify, there is a chance I might be able to get it under our control. A chance. There is no guarantees. So, do we feel like that this vessel is going to be important to us and something that we can use? Or are we saying it's an item of flimfamery which we don't need to worry about?
If we can figure out how to move the castle, we can worry about the boat. I'm
Well-
more concerned about the giant that's pottering around at the bottom.
Moving the castle will be a whole different aspect entirely. I have a feeling that, with no offense meant, considering the way that what I sensed, it feels like a wizard needs to defeat the wizard. It doesn't necessarily say about help, doesn't necessarily feel like help, but it feels like the only way that it will be allowed to go is effectively to best him and prove that it is a good idea to give up the ownership. And
Hargate, Urania, and Aurelius, you all hear at this point the sound of physical exertion from over here.
over where, sorry? Oh.
Oh, that's not.
Hang on. The giant. Did you say the giant's trying to climb up?
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to size up that spire. I'll just kind of fly.
Can I quickly run over to you and say, we need to take a look?
Yeah.
I'll let you grab me this time. You can get your revenge.
I reach out with just one leg, grab him, and take off.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, you've just got me by a shoulder. No.
You can see at this point the giant is about 30 foot off the ground, up the spire,
Okay.
and he's just climbing like you would a rope or a tree or something, just climbing up the mithril spire.
Does it
Interesting.
Does it look like he's trying to get to the castle, or
It looks like he's not sure what's there, just gets the feeling that there is something.
at the top of it?
He gets about 10 feet further, 40 feet up the spire, and you can see that he's looking up, and he can just sort of see at the edge of his dark vision the castle at this point. When he hits something and drops off of the spire. And there is a as he hits into the ground.
Does he like land on his back or on his feet?
He lands on his back, like he has been flung from this spire and has landed heavily on the ground. And let's have a quick look. Everybody but Nefira and Vason, you can hear this in the distance of this giant hitting the ground.
As I'm kind of just like
It'd be
hovering
really cool
where
to
I'm
try
at,
and climb that. Very impressive feat of strength.
as I'm just kind of hovering where I'm at, I'm going to look down at Hargate and be like, "What do you think that was?"
Some kind of defense, I'm guessing. It's been in a cave with giants for this long, so I suppose it has to have some way to stop the brutes getting in. But at the same time, I don't remember any such defenses against us.
Right.
You
That's
see
weird, right?
Unless
the
It
giant
could be
picks
the mum-
himself up and dusts himself off and just like looks around to see if anybody saw that and just like goes back to wandering the cave floor.
Nobody saw that? Okay, good.
I mean, once again, I'm sure that it has its defenses if something saw it, in which case I wonder why it let us through. That is curious.
Because we're not giants?
Potentially. I mean, there are some which are quite distinctly
Okay.
against that.
Are you having this conversation whilst flying over the crater?
Yes. Pretty much
Yeah.
we're still flying over the crater, just...
I am gonna make our way back.
What?
And gonna make our way back and just relay what we saw to the group.
So that makes sense.
But why didn't it do that to us?
Well, think about it. So, Vason goes over to this cliff wall here.
And then
he
this is the
starts
part where Toya
miming-
goes, maybe
he starts
because we're not
miming-
giants.
He starts miming rock climbing. And then he goes, right, here's how I'm holding on to something. Hargate. And he just picks up Hargate, puts his left hand where Vason's left hand was on a hold that is clearly something that Hargate cannot grip onto.
Oh,
And lets him fall.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. We did it for Toya. We'll do it for me as well. What was it? Acrobatics check, wasn't
Acrobatics
it?
check, yes.
There we go. 11.
Okay, I'm less mad.
It's about as
Okay,
graceful
okay.
as Toya's was.
I get the point. When it comes down, the grip, what she was holding onto, all of a sudden grew. Like the castle had to be sat on the ground rather than on top of a spire. So his grip suddenly got a lot smaller. Is that what you're saying?
Interesting.
That's what I'd expect. We could go
That
ask.
makes sense. But the other side of things, the spire at the bottom had no effect, which is interesting. In which case, perhaps this whole thing wouldn't expand straight away. You just start seeing just Hargate mumbling to himself, like trying to figure things out, making equations in the air.
Shall we just go talk to this guy? If he hits us, he hits us and we hit him back.
And that's true. I mean, if we can certainly talk. I mean, I have.
Vason
I
just
have
offers
friends-
his wrist to Uranius.
Do what?
He just offers his wrist to your Talon.
Oh yeah, I grab Vason and
Wait. I have friends.
am I able to take Vason and Hargate since Hargate is small?
Yeah, I'll let you take them both.
One Talon grabs Vason, the other Talon grabs Hargate, and we fly over this way.
Okay. Here we
You s-
go.
You see the giant is now like not stumbling like he's badly hurt, but like he may have twisted an ankle on landing. He's just like hobbling a little bit.
Hello there.
Kitten.
He looks up and just
Might
like,
be-
wave.
Might be worth getting the others. Are you okay?
there are little people down here. Are you invading?
well-
He speaks common.
No, we're not invading.
oh no,
well,
that's in
currently-
giant. Sorry.
Oh,
Growl, rumble. Grum.
in which case I cast for comprehend languages. So I now can understand what's being said.
Mason tries in primordial. Is your ankle okay?
You get the spell
Then tries
cast.
Dwarven.
You get the spell cast, Hargate, and you just pick out invasion.
Invasion? Are you trying to invade?
Are you
I'm
trying
to do, like,
invade?
hands. We're not trying to invade. We are travelers passing through.
Do you want us to invade?
Do you require assistance to invade? We would like to have a big friend like you.
He sort of cracks his knuckles and is like, if you're trying to invade, we can defend ourselves.
Oh, we have no qualm with you, my friend. We are not trying to do or take anything from you.
Are you sure? I'd like to defend myself.
I'm afraid so. Though I'm sure that would be entertaining, we would much rather be on the friendly side. We are allies.
I am so sad that Mason can't understand the other side of this conversation.
We saw as we were coming by that you were looking for something. We were wondering if you needed aid.
My name is Krok. I was looking for treasure.
Ah. Any particular treasure?
Shiny.
Shiny is the best treasure, no doubt. Well, we have come across some shiny treasure. My name is Hargate, and we are the traveling companions of the Troll Skull, which is a tavern up above.
What's a tavern?
A wonderful place where you can consume alcohol. A nice beverage to help relax the body and stimulate the senses.
Out of curiosity, is Hargate actually speaking giant in this moment?
Yes.
I don't know how that spell works. I don't know if it's a case that like you can say a language and be understood whilst also understanding them, or if you suddenly start speaking their language.
When it comes down to it, the literal thing written down here is that I understand the literal meaning of the language that you hear or is signed. Can also understand the written thing. So it's technically I understand him. And I've been placing this one down as, for the sake of this conversation, John, and what's been going on behind, how have you been seeing this? Because I was going to put down Argate trying to mime all of this, but I don't think that's going to work out quite as well. Because we've already had half a conversation. How would you like to run this one, John?
I am going to double check that I've remembered how comprehend languages works. Bear with me. I hate you search on D&D Beyond sometimes.
I mean,
Yeah.
the spell is in the chat, isn't it?
It is. I
Is
just want to
there
double
a-
check that it's stayed the same between versions,
Oh, of course, yes.
and that the full text is there. Okay, no, it has stayed the same. Oh, that's different though.
Oh?
You now understand sign language with comprehend languages.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Cool.
Oh, it's still written there as well, isn't it? See, hear or see signed. I do love these sessions where we stump the DM. We just get these big, epic elements of quiet. We're all just waiting for. Yeah, well, oh no. We're gonna have to do this.
I'm going to assume for the moment that Karok, up until this point, has been incredibly good at charades.
Thank God we haven't got cameras on of me actually having to try and do these charades. Now that would be entertainment, but I'm not willing to do a camera tonight.
I think you need to speak to Speliosa.
Where can I find Speliosa?
It's not Speliosa, it's Speliosa.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm not the only one thinking that.
I'm just waiting for the giant to scream back, "No! It's Speliosa!"
It'd smash your face.
Has he been threatening you? He keeps making this sort of like hand to fist this fist to hand motion, but then not attacking.
No.
Is that?
This is fine. When it comes down, I sort of half explain as much as I can whilst trying to make sure I don't miss any conversation pieces. It's like, we are absolutely fine. He understands we are not a threat, and that we need to go and see a person, well, I'm presuming a giant called Speliosa.
We are a threat.
Don't.
We're just not enemies.
He doesn't know that we're either, and considering that he is quite tempted to fight and really wants to, I think that we need to keep that part at bay.
As soon as he hears the words, he wants to fight, Vason's eyes glisten with joy.
No. Hold for the time being. Come, you're one of my friends who actually thinks I need you to hold on and maintain that. But for the time being, we need to go and see a Speliosa, which I just asked where we can find Speliosa.
Kurok will take in the meaning of your signs. Gather your friends and meet me over there, and points up to the ledge on the other side of this side of the cavern. I will go and make sure she knows you are coming.
We will. Yes, we will.
And
right.
Almost before you finish the signs, he's off and he's climbing up the cave wall, and just you can see that he is very talented at athletics.
Yes, he is.
Oh, I want to fight him so bad.
Fighting can come later, but now. Right, we need to go back to our friends first and make plans to go and talk to this Speliosa, and then maybe, if you really want to have it, why don't we ask whether you can have a duel? Maybe we can make an offer that if you defeat him, they give you some treasure, and otherwise, we give them some treasure. Considering all they want is something shiny.
You go grab the others, and Vason will stay down here. He actually wants to take a look at the mithril spire to see if it's actually just solid bloody mithril.
Oh, I thought we were all just still flying.
I'd assume
So,
I thought we were flying to be eye level with the giant.
Yeah, we were flying to be eye level with the giant. How far did Vason fall when he let go of my claw?
Oh, okay, never mind. I just did not realize what was going on.
No, I like the idea of you just being like, "Ooh, shiny," and like just letting go. But it's like in Looney Tunes when Wile E. Coyote runs off the cliff. You don't realize until you look down that you're no longer holding on.
Hold on. Vason, we need you to make an acrobatics check.
I don't get to look at a pillar. That's fine. Rob is bad.
I mean, at tops, we're what, 15 feet in the air, 20 feet in the air? It's not that bad of a fall.
No.
Is all I'm saying.
No.
I'm killing the bit.
Okay, coming back, I am going to go straight over to the group and basically relay everything which we've just gone through, and that we have been invited to go and speak with Salazar.
Speliosa.
The one thing you could hear rumbled through this canyon.
Okay,
I just
fair.
thought that was just intestinal damage.
But hold on. Argate,
Yes.
is it Speliosa or Speliosa?
Oh no.
In the proper pronunciation, Speliosa. If that helps.
Fair. Cool. Yep, that sounds about
You're
right.
okay.
The Imperial produces a sneeze from out of nowhere.
You're not meant to make sounds like that when you're that small.
I think I'm going to need a lozenge after that one.
I'm kind of concerned for you, sir.
Over the course of several trips, you ferry the group over to the opposite side of the cavern. And for the sake of ease, I'll just move you all at once.
Love
You
that.
dropped us off the edge.
And now I've shoved Vason into the wall. 1 second, let me retrieve him from the
Not
cave.
eager to fight.
Saul's ragdoll going crazy.
Just like full on, there's just a dragon, he hits the wall, goes through the wall, comes out the other side of the wall, and just like,
Where
Oh,
was
God.
I?
they don't render this side of this wall.
Right. I just need to check something when it comes down to the divination side of things with the divination savant. Because obviously the comprehend languages is meant to last a minute. Unless it's a case of literally sitting down and just going over and over
languages,
again.
it says, lasts for 1 hour.
Oh, even better. Oh, yes, of course it does. Sorry. I read the 1 minute to read a page. Sorry. I read the wrong minute, the wrong time.
That is fair. That would really suck if you
Okay.
had 1 minute on the spell and it takes a minute to read a page of the book.
On the other side of things, I can cast this as a ritual, and it's a case of wondering whether I could literally do a walking ritual. Or being held so that the ritual could carry on and I don't have to use up spell slots.
From this space, you can see through the sort of cave entrance, and you can see the younger giant inside this bigger cave.
I will keep walking forward and give a wave of greeting. Hello again, my friend. I have brought my companions.
You see, as you enter this domed space, a number of carvings in the walls and in the ceiling of stone giants. And stood in the middle of the room, talking to the younger male, is an older female stone giant holding in one hand a hunk of amber, and in the other hand a cloth made of a furred fabric or leather. And as you start to enter, you can see just for the moment her eyes flick round to you, and she goes to go for one of the stones that lies at the feet of the carvings on instinct.
I immediately sort of throw my hands down to the ground and try to make a bigger symbol of we mean you no harm, and sort of yell to the others, throw your arms down and get to the floor.
Did you trip over there, Hargate?
And she
Roll
She
yourselves to the floor.
looks down
Make
at
yourselves
you
look defenseless.
and realizes. And she speaks in a broken common. You are friends of Sun.
Oh, she's hot.
We are. We have come in peace to talk.
Mm-hmm.
See if we might be able to assist. Sorry, which giant is giant? Which giant is...
This giant
one.
is the female.
Sorry.
This
When
is
you
the
were
male.
peeing beforehand, I thought you were further back into the cave. I was about to walk through back into the cave. Yes, we have come. We are friends. We wish to be friends with all of you.
Yeah. How close of friends can we be?
Oh yeah.
What?
The time, Toya.
She's hot. Look at her. Oh my god.
Please.
Like, step on me, mommy, please.
Oh, please ignore my friend. She means well.
It's a compliment.
On plus side, very furry, nice to pet.
Oh yeah. With all due respect, not everyone is quite as comfortable with that sort of commentary on first meeting.
Especially on first meeting. No. We were
Small
wondering.
enough that she didn't notice anyway, so I think we're good.
Oh boy. I just thought once again, forefinger and thumb on the bridge of the nose. I really hope her hearing isn't that good. Okay. I apologize for the outspoken moments. We wish to come as friends, and rather peacefully, we wish to see if there was anything that you were looking for. We had noticed your son out looking for treasure and shining.
We family looking for something missing. Can't remember.
I see.
Something important.
Do you know what it did? That we might be able to aid you. Or perhaps was it more a trinket or an item of big significance that didn't do anything?
It is difficult to remember before today.
What's the first thing you remember?
Awakening.
Where?
Here.
Where
I think-
exactly?
Like in this
Home.
cave? Or
This
just sort
morning.
of...
Like Mason steps forward and just starts pointing to different parts of the cave, looking for a reaction.
Is there a particular place that you sleep or that you awoke this morning?
My family and I rest over there.
Would you permit us to look where you sleep? See if we might find something. that might be of importance to you?
Little man is not cause of forgetting.
No. I have no way to make you forget.
Trust me, there are many things I wish that I'd forget that he told me.
Nefira,
Yes.
as you have slightly better dark vision than the others, you can see from this space where you are stood, there is another pair of young stone giants, sort of doing that thing that younger siblings do, where they are both sort of stood at the door trying to look in and also not pay attention to, like, not draw the attention of the people in the room. You can see that is it the male or the female? One is a male, one is a female. The female is holding a chisel. And you can see sort of hunks of stone on the ground in that room.
You say that there are a load of carvings around this wall.
Yes.
Could I inspect... Oh,
The walls
I'm
and
just gonna go
domed
up stuff, okay.
ceiling display carvings of stone giants.
Are these stone giants, or these a different type of giant?
These are stone giants. You can detect that this is possibly the extent of the family of giants that live here.
what I was going to say is, can I see anything in that carving which might give a hint towards a special item of sorts?
You can't. It mostly does just look like 6 stone giants.
Okay, so it's more like a family portrait than it is.
Yeah,
6, you said.
6. You see 2 very tall adult stone giants and 4 sort of slowly descending in height stone giants.
Family.
I'm assuming that there's something Spellosa is wearing that is in the one is on one of the tall ones.
You could pick out that there is enough resemblance that you can pick her out as the mother of the family.
Where are the other 2?
That is a very good question, and that might not be the best one.
I already asked it.
1 second. What did it say about this?
As well as whilst you were looking at it, I was going to say I was just going to go over between Basin and Hardgate and Swift, but I can see 6. I count 2 here, and there's 2 in the other room. There were 2 short somewhere.
They could be out hunting or gathering.
Vason, Uranius, Aurelia, and Hargate, you can all hear the sound of flute music.
Were any of them playing a flute?
Is everyone speaking so stealthily?
Because I don't wish to offend anyone if anything happened.
You can see that one of the younger stone giants is carved holding a flute.
Trying to think of anything in here. Would you mind if we looked around to see if we can find what might be causing your memory loss? That hopefully we can regain your mind. That you can all remember.
We have not been able to.
Would you permit us to look? I have skill in looking for magical occurrences. That I might be able to see something that is beyond sight.
Gravelock not happy.
Gravelock. Am I wrong in presuming?
She points to the other large giant in the pictures. The masculine figure.
He's not happy with our
relationship.
Yes. Me big, you small.
No. I mean, like, does your husband treat you right?
Four-stone giant, yes.
Okay. Sorry, just the way you said he was unhappy, I just wanted to make sure you were safe. So, is he unhappy because he can't remember, or was he unhappy, like, last night, or...
Do not remember.
Right, okay.
Just that he was unhappy. Is he here?
In space for lifting.
No space for lifting, I see.
Lifting and putting down heavy things.
I see. And where might that be, exactly?
Oh, like a gym? Like a weight gym? Does he do it to get stronger?
That is what he says.
Things. Okay, cool. So he's in some kind of gym. Cool. Is he like down this tunnel, or is he like with your kids, or?
Wait, we found a gym before. There's a gym the other side of the crater.
Was it a giant gym?
I know I missed a session, so I don't know.
I think so. I'm trying to remember where it was. But yeah, it was over here.
He is past Crystal Cathedral. Children and I not permitted.
Crystal Cathedral? That's one I don't get the reference for.
She could be talking about the castle, because it has that whole crystal central...
Well, yes, but if they don't have a way to get in there...
Well, no, but if...
Plus, we would have seen them.
Use some detect magic, Hargate. If there's not chaos on them, making them forget things, it'll light up like a torch.
If he's away, I will sit myself down on the floor and I will do detect magic as a ritual.
Whilst that's happening, what's this?
There is a number of items in that room stacked up. A wooden cask, a damaged alabaster troll mask missing its nose, a rhinestone sack that seems to jingle if you try to move it, and a large life-sized stone statue of a wizard with crazy hair that has been painted blue.
Right. After I have this spell up and going, I'm going to wander around, considering I know that it has a limited feed. I will try not to interrupt anything or get in the way of anywhere.
You can see that the blue statue has something magic within it.
Okay, is this blue guy anyone you know?
One moment. As I just literally walk around the whole place, and then I'll come back over considering I do detect magic in there. Is that the only magic thing which I can sense there?
There is an element of magic about the giants.
There's a magic element about the giants as well. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant this statue.
That statue has got magic within it.
Okay, is that magic? Can I sense it's related to them?
No,
To the magic on them?
There is a magic separate. Each of the giants gives off the same sort of magical aura. There are spells affecting them.
Okay,
and there is
so
there is a different magical thing in the statue.
Okay. I ask. Spelzer, might I be permitted to touch your hand, please? I can sense there is a magical aura on you. I would like to try and figure out what it is so that I might be able to remove it. And hopefully regain your memory. As I sort of walk over with my hand outstretched.
Take long?
It shouldn't take long at all. I can have it done in a minute.
She will sit down cross-legged on the ground and hold a hand out to you. It is giant.
And I literally come over and place my hand on the finger. And cast Identify. I will cast it rather than ritual it, just for the sake that I believe it would be better not to make them angry for waiting. And will allow my eyes to do that glowing thing again and do my little muttering as I try to figure out what's going on. So you have the minute if anyone else wants to do anything or tries to see or find anything.
Oh, Vasa just full picks up the statue and brings it closer. Just brings it over here.
Are you supposed to be listening in?
Do they actually speak common?
Joy is teasing the kids.
They sort of back away sheepishly, like they've been caught doing something they shouldn't. And the male one sort of bends down, and the female climbs up on his shoulders, and they stand back up to their full height, and the female starts chipping away at the ceiling again with the chisel. And they just sort of turn away and just glance over at you a few times to just see if you stay there. And just sort of get back to the chore they were supposed to be doing.
She's not going to say anything, but one of the times they glance over as they're back to their chores, she'll hold a finger to her lips like she's going to keep a secret.
You can also hear from this point, Toya, the sound of flute music coming from the chamber beyond this chamber.
I think I found our third kid. So all the kids are here.
Wasn't there 6 total?
Well, there are 6 people. So we've got 4 kids and 2 adults.
Well, we found all 6.
So we've got a kid here. We've got 2 kids in here. Kid beyond here with a flute. Mom, and then Dad's pissed off to go lift weights over here. Because, yeah.
Well, that's a theory. We found a gym. And John wouldn't let me take the giant-sized barbells. So, makes sense that they're probably a giant gym.
Does make some sense.
A minute passes. A minute passes. Not that. I need that one. You can tell that a number of spells have been cast on these giants from a number of sources. You get the feeling that someone has been harassing them recently with illusion magics, which has not been helping their fragile mindset.
That sounds like Otto.
That could well be Otto. It could well be any other which is trying to keep them at bay. In which case, we might have other threats down here. I half wonder about the painted statue over there. Perhaps it made someone angry. Sorry, do carry on.
You do also pick up on the fact that someone has cast a very high-level spell that at the start of each day, their memories reset.
Oh my. Now that is a nasty one. Would I be able to tell whether any of these are breakable? As in, if they were to achieve a feat or if they were to do something. Like, for instance, are they wisdom-based, in which case, if they manage to break the wisdom block, they might be able to break free?
You get the feeling that the illusion spells will stop if somebody stops casting them on them. And that this has led to a great deal of their recent annoyance and irritability.
Right.
Their memories, however, is beyond your spell abilities. So you are not sure
if I might be able to help.
You are not sure even if the spell, like, even if you broke the spell now, you don't know if their memories would return or not.
Mind you, there is one last thing, though. I can't tell whether it has actual connection or not, but I do notice that there is some magic within this statue. My dear, I'm afraid that this magic which has been cast upon you is far beyond my level, but there might be a chance that whatever is affecting has come from this statue. There is an item within it. I can sense it. It has a magical origin, and it might very well be casting this effect upon you. It currently has a stand that every day it will erase your memories, all of your memories, which is no doubt affecting your mood and most likely your husband's as well. Would you permit me, or necessarily more my friends, to open this statue so we might be able to take a look on the inside?
The man of many faces.
The man of many faces. Why do you call it that?
She looks over to what's his name?
Kurok.
Kurok. Sorry, Kurok.
Kurok. Yeah.
She says something to him in Giant.
Has my comprehend languages gone?
No, it's not been long enough for that, I don't think. She basically says to her son, take them to the Cave of Faces. Don't forget to let Zorta know that they are safe.
Sounds ominous.
But I like the fact that it's knowing that we're safe. Once again, I would like to permit, there is something in their statue. If it is causing this issue, we might be able to take it away from you now. We might not be able to regain your memories. As I say, that magic is beyond me at the moment. Should I gain that power, I will come back and restore you. But if this is causing your dilemma, I would much rather be able to rid it of you. So
Rid you of it.
Rid you of it so that you do not have this pain.
She picks up.
So there is nothing.
She picks up the hunk of amber that she was polishing and slams it down on the statue, and the statue shatters like non-magical stone.
Oh, I wanted to do that. There's actually a bit. Vason genuinely pouts as he already had taken out the maul and was sat on the floor, and just puts it back on his back.
And you see a light blue, I think it's light blue, gemstone at the heart.
No one touch it. Nobody touch it.
Vason's hand is like half an inch away from touching it. And it's just like,
let me identify first. And worst case scenario, you should be strong enough to separate me from that stone.
It is a blue sapphire.
So I am literally going to take a single finger and I'm going to do a ritual and identify. I know there's magic coming from it, but what secrets do you hold?
Would you like to hear what it does here or in the secret space?
I suppose we should do it in the secret space.
Can I lick it?
I probably wouldn't suggest it, but we'll find out.
Solution to everything is to lick it.
that explains your relationship.
Oh, what a brilliant thing to leave the other room on.
Oh, God.
Can I lick it? That explains your relationship.
Yeah, pretty much.
This, after you cast the ritual and the magic takes hold and you understand what this is, you realize that this gem contains a mote of elemental energy. It's an elemental gem tied to the air elementals. When you take a utilize action and break the gemstone, it will summon an air elemental. It appears within an unoccupied space as close to the broken gem as possible, and will understand your language and obey your commands, and takes its turn immediately after yours in the initiative count. The elemental will disappear after an hour when it dies, or if you dismiss it as a bonus action. This will summon an air elemental.
Wow, an interesting one-time use. But that could be very much a turn of a fight.
Maybe turn.
Well, that is interesting.
Can I touch it?
Did you lick it?
You can touch it, and I literally hold it in my hand. It is safe to touch. But
Mason just takes it wholeheartedly and just sort of tosses it in the air.
No, don't do that. No, hand it back. I said you could touch, not to toss and throw.
Yeah, Mason's already it's already at Mason's eye line. He's looking at it with one eye.
Mason.
It is.
Go long.
No. It's delicate.
I'm not doing that.
Highly magical. It is a delicate item, and I implore you not to.
Then what does it do, Wizard Man?
As I say, it is a highly magical thing which is designed for its breakage. Not that we should break it now. That is not the point. It is safe as we hold it.
What is it?
I can go into explicit details later. At the moment, I'm sort of trying to make a hint as I'm looking at you that stop this conversation now. And as I sort of turn around, yes?
You guys are no.
Mason will just sort of like, you know what? I'm just going to roll a little bit of insight. Yeah, cool. I read the room and just slip it into the bag of holding.
It's very good. As I say, it is a magical life, and I don't know if this is the reason why they carry on inflicting this upon you, but we will rid it of you.
Rid you of
And hopefully
it.
Rid you of it, fine. But hopefully
The other sentence means quite a different thing.
it's true. I must admit, I'm trying to simplify myself down. Does not necessarily help. But nonetheless, hopefully by removing this...
They're just taking advantage.
Hopefully, by removing this from you, it shall alleviate some. As for your memories, I'm afraid I can only wish and hope that I'd be able to come back and help you with that. If you will permit us to take this away from you.
You may take.
I thank you.
Follow
May we take this?
Kurok. Sea cave. He will lead you
shall.
to exit.
Thank
Which way
you.
we are?
And Kurok, leaves through the room with his brother and sister carving the ceiling.
Aurelius is just kind of awkwardly walking like the birds do.
Bird waddle, bird waddle.
We're still in a cave.
He leads you
It's the flute player.
into a room, a large echoing cave where a female stone giant is sat cross-legged on the ground playing a stone flute, sort of tucked away in the corner.
He's just gonna approach real quick and be like, "Your flute playing's awesome," and give a.
For the sake of the flute, and I am curious, especially considering we said that it's a thing of many faces, and I'm really hoping I'm not wasting.
Kurok
Can
continues on through this cave into the next one.
Can I do a quick detect magic, just to see if there is anything attached to that flute?
You must be burning through all of your first level spell slots right now.
I am, unless I ritual things, but I can't. But
How long does detect magic stay up? Because didn't you do it in the other room? Shouldn't it
Like
still
10
be up, or
minutes?
is it just
so
in that-
it lasts for
Yeah.
one action in 10 minutes.
But does it follow you, or is it just in the area that you cast it in? I can't remember.
So it is for the duration. You sense the presence of magical items and effects. Magical effects within 30 feet of yourself. You can sense such effects, and you can take on a magic action to see faint auras around visible creatures or objects in that area that bears magic.
You still have it up, just you're getting to the end of it at this
Okay.
point. No, wait, you cast Identify on
I did.
Speliosa as a ritual, didn't you?
I did.
So then it will have faded.
Gotcha.
And I've just realised that the only way I can cast detect magic is as a ritual. So it would have to take more time again, and I know that we don't have that time. So I guess we're not doing that.
As you get through the room, you can hear that she's not an expert by any means in the flute. She's young and she's playing it with some skill, but it's like there is the odd misplay every once in a while, like somebody who's new to playing the flute.
Oh no, she's learning it again every day. Oh, it's heartbreaking.
Oh. We need to... I don't care about many other things, but I feel such a connection with this now that we need to come back and sort this.
Kurok will lead you into this space.
Oh.
The walls of this cave are lined with the same face, the same human face. Each of them with a different expression.
Now this is curious.
Please tell me I'm not the only one who's like severely freaked out by this.
I would like to copy the expression of this one.
There are various different expressions, some of anger, some of madness, glee, fear, laughter. But you can tell from each of them that it is the same person.
I'm just curious to see if there's an effect if we were to copy the expression. So literally, almost like as if there's a magic switch to these or something along those lines. That by merely copying it in front of the face so that the eyes could see you.
No reaction.
Is this a famous face?
You've seen this face before.
If it's not Hallister...
This is the face of Hallister.
Oh, shit.
Ah.
It's like
There
you
we go.
finished.
Well, that was quick.
You can also, as you get into the room, smell the scent of decay.
Is it coming from a particular direction?
It's coming from the faces. It's a bunch of actual faces.
In this corner of the room, there are a dozen humanoid corpses piled up
Oh my.
Yes.
in various states of putrefaction.
Putrefaction.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
How many bodies are there?
There is one drow, 2 quagoths, 5 troglodytes, 7 hobgoblins, 3 dwergar, 6 grimlocks, 9 bullywugs, and 2 dozen humans. Oh, sorry, 2 dozen.
So
2
many corpses.
humans.
Did anybody write that down and count out how many actual corpses there are? Because
That was close to 20.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's way more than faces.
right, did the corpses have their faces, or would we be able to tell through the putrefaction?
Those that are not so moldy to be reduced to mere bones, they all have their faces. You can see, if somebody wants to roll me a medicine check, you might be able to get some more information about them.
I'll give it a try.
They're dead, Vason.
I have a +2 in medicine as well.
Hargate and Toya, you can see from these that they have got multiple broken bones, as if very large rocks fell on them with great speed or from a great height.
Taking a look at how this room funnels down. Is that X visible?
Yes.
I have a feeling that that might trigger something to fall.
Yeah, Mason's gonna actively look at the ceiling.
Toya's gonna haul up one of
Yes.
these bodies.
Okay.
Basin, step back. She's gonna throw a body on the X. Well, the trap's not active, at least not anymore.
Oh, I'm smarter than that. Wait, pull the body off.
Okay. Toya's gonna sort of reach for the nearest limb and drag it off.
That is a horrifying sound, John.
It's squishy.
Juicy.
Mason's gonna take a long jump and just jump over what we think the trap is.
Okay.
Is there anything else in this space? Was it all a ruse and this is the real trap?
1 second. I need to look something up.
Oh no.
Yay! Trap
Well, you
found it.
wanted conquest, you found it.
Glory. I'm a glory paladin. Conquest was the guy whose arse I kicked. Oh wait, you weren't there.
You leap over the stone X and land, and you land on ground that is not as solid as you expected it to be.
Oh, that's not good.
And you sink 2 feet into the ground.
Am I continuing to sink?
You are
Or do I stop?
currently restrained.
So that's like my knees.
I'm just going by what the rules tell me. And you are currently sinking into a silt pit.
How tall is this place? Like, would I be able to fly in and try to grab him and pull him out? Is it tall enough for me to fly?
I'm just trying to see if it gives me a height for this place. Yeah, the tunnels are like 20 feet tall because the tallest of the stone giants is about 18 feet.
Okay. So I'll
I mean, it's a bit of a squeeze to get through the gap into the room.
right.
I mean, I'm a
just
pretty good
kinda-
athlete. What check would it be to get myself out of here?
Well, let's find out. At the start of your turn, you sink another 4 feet into the ground.
Oh no.
Oh God. Okay.
And so you are currently 6 feet under.
Yeah, there's just a head. There's just a Mason head right now.
Make
And shoulders,
me
possibly.
a strength check. The DC is 16.
Does it have to be a strength check? Can it be an athletics check?
It has to be a strength check.
Okay, let me just check one of my features. Cool. Considering how quickly I've just sunk down, maybe use peerless athlete to give myself advantage on this.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, I may have missed.
Oh no, that is only on athletics and acrobatics checks.
Ignore that. That never happened.
You consider using your peerless athlete, and then you go, "Oh, I just need to put my strength into this."
Yep. I'm gonna roll my strength. Oh no! The dice hate me tonight.
Okay.
So, question, Vason, for you. As you sink, are your arms down at your sides, or do you kind of like lift them up? So is it literally just your head, or is it...
I expect I would have tried to like swing them up and out to get myself out of here. So there might be like one arm that's actually made out of the muck.
I have a plan. I can get you out. Just tell me, are you willing? Yes?
What? I was going to say, what are you doing? But if you're yelling, just...
Oh.
Are you willing? Vason, what is your answer?
If it stops me becoming muck, go for it.
Okay. I am going to jump onto Vason's head and cast Dimension Door back into the room.
I love it.
I feel like this is the most graceless thing. It's just like Hargate lands crotch first on Vason. Vason's like, what the fuck? As he teleports,
I'm expecting
Hargate on my face.
I'm expecting a picture of this at one point.
Vason, you are just covered in mud, like from your neck down.
Vason doesn't even care about that right now. He just pulls Hargate off his face. And
welcome.
Down. And does that full body thing that dogs do to shake it all off.
Oh, dear God, right. Oh, I knew I should have worn a cape. I knew I should have worn a cape. I could have covered myself if I...
Why is there a giant silt pit?
Well, I don't know. I want to know what is across on the floor.
Probably to warn the people about the giant silt pit.
How's your mud bath?
Kurok looks round and just chuckles. Waste disposal.
There's just this. Mason just slowly turns his head. He doesn't turn his shoulders or anything. It's just the head till he looks at Korok and just squints, unimpressed.
Stone giants.
Okay. I want to do an investigation in this room to see if there's anything of importance around these heads that we haven't seen so far.
Okay.
I will also investigate.
Yeah, Vason will poke some statues.
31.
What is stuck doing?
Oh my God!
Jesus, I got an 18.
Okay. Between the three of you, and I'm not going to say who does the heavy lifting on this check, but it might be the person. It might be the person who rolled 10 times higher than the lowest roller.
Oh, it's nice to have intelligence.
You can tell that the faces have been carved by a number of different artisans. They are all experts at carving stone. They are all really well rendered, but entirely non-magical faces carved out of the stone.
Mm-hmm.
You get the vague feeling, Hargate, they knew something was happening to them. They knew that this person was important. They knew that they would forget.
And I end up looking over. I look over at the pile of dead bodies, and I wonder how many of those were gifted artisans before perhaps the giants were instructed to crush them.
Were there any chisels?
You don't see any chisels in this room.
And Toya since Toya's kind of going through her work of putting them to rest as best she can and offering her prayers, can Toya check their hands to see if they have any indicators of their hands of having being sculptors, like scars or anything like that?
Those that still have enough to detect that, you don't see any evidence of it.
I'm not seeing anything to indicate that these guys were artisans.
There is a mix of, some of them look to have been like former adventurers. Some are just creatures of the Underdark that wandered into the wrong space.
Are stone giants known for their carving?
They
I
are.
presume, yes. I think
The other
that
side of things.
basically just pipes up with, it could have been the giants.
I wonder if you don't think that perhaps it's the reason why the husband's angry. Maybe he's the only one who hasn't lost his memory.
Or maybe he
Perhaps
just
it's-
knows to be angry, but doesn't know why.
Well, it's either that or if his family's being held hostage for the sake of this.
Yeah, but there's different styles, which indicates it's a bunch of different artists.
Or that
So it-
they have had to redo it many times from different styles. They forget every day.
Well, yeah, but art is like a thing. There's muscle memory. So the styles aren't going to change when you're doing that sort of thing.
It looks to be the same small group of artists. It's not a lot of different ones. It is multiple,
six?
but it is somewhere in that region.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood the way you phrased that. Okay, never mind then. Ignore what Toya said then.
So
Perhaps that is the case, then. In which case, maybe
Your family does good work, Korok.
he looks at you puzzled.
I wonder
Wait,
what was being carved in the other room.
yeah, just had that
The
same
children were
thought.
carving, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
Toya, as
Yep.
you've spent some time putting the bodies to rest, or more rest than they were,
Yeah,
they didn't have a lot on them.
right.
The drow was wearing a black breastplate with a platinum spider motif.
Oh, that's got to go to Nefira. That is entirely his fashion.
That's a friendly little...
One of
Shall I
the
put that in the inventory?
Yeah.
Yeah, make it out of it for now.
one of the dead humans had a Dungeoneer's pack with no rations or torches. The other had a set of thieves' tools. You can take any of those that you wish.
I'll take the breastplate because, like Vason said, that would be good for
Okay.
dude. But
I'll
what's
put it
in
the
a Dungeoneer's
inventory.
pack other than rations?
Rations, I assume some climbing gear. Let me double check. Yes, it is hammer and pitons. How the hell did I remember that? Crowbar, hammer, 10 pitons, torches, tinderbox, rations, and a water skin. So basically climbing gear.
Right. I think I'll leave that, but I'll take the thieves' tools.
Okay.
So we're taking the chest plate and the thieves' tools, and then everything else is getting left.
Well,
As you take off the breastplate, you also see an obsidian scarab.
Is this like a tattoo, or is that like...
It's like a pendant.
Ah, okay. Shouldn't be looting corpses like that, but It looks important, so I'm gonna take it.
In the inventory.
Toya's just kind of gonna jam it in her pocket for now.
Okay.
But yeah, so then, once she's kind of done her thing and sent the prayers up to let's not turn these guys into the undead, she's gonna rejoin the group to investigate, to join them in looking at what the kids are carving. Because that made sense. Sorry.
Okay.
What are they carving? What are they carving?
You head back to the room, and you can see the female is riding on the shoulders of the male giant, and they just are carving patterns into the ceiling.
What kind of patterns?
Abstract design.
So much for that theory.
It was worth a shot.
Are you observation?
Saw this
Is it?
before. I think this is the Crystal Cathedral.
To the weird space.
A swirly thing. I noticed that before, but I wasn't really paying too much attention because we were looking for the...
How pretty are the crystals?
This chamber has all of the looming hollowness of a cathedral. The walls have been sculpted into exquisite arches, buttresses, and draperies. Carvings of a giant whorl and spirals cover the ceiling. 3 dramatic crystal formations explode from the floor, each one roughly 10 feet high, 10 feet wide, 15 feet high, and broken shards litter the floor around them.
Do I feel any magic in this room? Not having cast a detect magic, literally just asking where I can feel any.
Difficult to say. It is the space does have a certain feeling to it, yes. Croc, who follows you into this space, points at the crystal and mimes against, like, rubbing his stomach.
Those are delicious? You eat those?
Yummy.
Basin has already picked up one of the stones. I was just looking at it to see if there's anything special about it.
Bon appetit, Dragon Boy.
Wait, what?
It is going to be rock candy, isn't it?
Eat it. Sorry,
gonna-
you've got a stronger stomach than me, man. So you've got to take.
I'm
the
going to
element.
pick it up and...
Yeah, Mason definitely going to test something first. He is going to grab the piece that he's got, which I assume is about fist-sized, and does try and crack it in half first, because he doesn't want to break his teeth.
It is as difficult to crack in half as a crystal would be.
I'm going to identify.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not eating that. I like my
Find
teeth.
it first, you numbnut.
Because I like my teeth!
That's why you grind it into a powder. Oh my god. Why am I, the dumbass, the smartest one here?
Over the course of 11 minutes, Hargate, as this argument carries on for probably most of that time,
Probably.
Mason is actively trying not to be partaking in this. Toya actually is just ranting. Mason is just looking at the rocks because they're pretty.
there is no magic on the rocks to make them tasty. There is a magic on the rocks that keeps them regrowing quicker than a crystal should do.
Ah.
From this, you can work out that something is regrowing these to keep the stone giants well fed.
Well, I suppose at least it is a merciful leader. or
Leader of my
owner in
ass.
this case.
So
Dealer.
food. Oh.
Kurok points to this exit from the cave and just says, exit down.
And down here?
Get out of my head, Ben.
Danger.
Am I gonna fit?
Danger.
I like danger. Oh, this is getting a little tight.
It's a little bit dangerous, my friend.
I just do my best to sign back. We'll be safe. We'll be back.
Yep.
Roll me a
why are you
perception
complaining
check, Vason.
If we're talking about a silt trap, surely I have advantage. I will roll. You want perception? There you go.
I want perception. You see
No,
another
look away
silt
from me.
trap.
Thank Christ. Okay. I
I looked
just
away for like 10 seconds. I don't know where anybody went. So.
went down this way.
Oh, okay.
Mason
Boy
just
is
like
in-
Mason will stop and he just puts his arm out to stop Nefira walking past him. Still trap.
Mm-hmm.
And Mason's just gonna sort of like use his toe as a test to see where the ground's solid, just so he can see around this corner.
There's a 5-foot ridge around the very edge of the wall. If you hug the wall, you are fine, but the middle of the room, anything 5 feet or further than 5 feet away from the wall.
That's pretty generous then.
Are you sure you don't mean 5 inches, my love?
Nope.
So what's
Okay.
is there anything visible in these spaces?
No. You do see that the other tunnel that leads into this room, the slightly larger tunnel, has a big X carved into it.
Gracious just shimmies along.
Oh, the X's are to warn them of the silt traps.
Funny,
And
that
the
almost
other
sounds like
places,
something I said.
and that's too narrow for them to go through, so they wouldn't think to do it.
Yeah.
Exactly. They just know it's dangerous down there because they could get caught in one
What
which
is
would be
that
big
called?
enough.
Why is there a dead basilisk?
There is a large stone basilisk.
As in made out of stone?
Appears to be.
Was it one they
Okay.
carved? Or does it look like it's carved or something
Did it
which has
lose the
been...
fight?
Roll me an investigation check.
Considering I think I know Toy and Vason have investigated a basilisk scene before. Maybe Nefira as well.
And that's my worst roll so far. That's
And you still beat me!
Hargate, you and Vason get up close to this basilisk, and you can see that in the space around it there is jagged spirals carved into the walls and the ceiling above you. But it's without finished form and difficult to say what it one day will be. You don't see any marks of carving on the basilisk.
oh.
I think there's probably another one and this lost the fight.
It looks that way.
Did you cast... Which did you cast? Identify. Never mind.
When did I cast Identify, was that?
No, I was trying to remember which... I knew you'd ritual cast a spell. I couldn't remember which one.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I mean,
Why does that make me feel like I need to detect magic?
No reason.
I'm gonna detect magic. We're gonna be here a little while, guys. We're gonna do this now.
10 minutes pass. There is an aura of conjuration emanating from the basilisk's belly.
From the basilisk's belly? Basin, do you know how you wanted to smash open a statue?
Mason picks up the statue, flips it over, because you assume it's not attached to the floor,
No.
and gets them all out. And
The stomach. We're aiming for the stomach.
no, you aim above the stomach, because otherwise you might break what's in the stomach.
A very valid point.
Inside the belly of the basilisk is a gold ring set with moonstones
Ooh, pretty.
and a magic wand.
Oh,
Mason just sort of reaches in, grabs them, and plops them in front of Hargate.
And talk amongst yourselves, I'll be right back.
Oh. Fair enough. Well,
So now that Cork's sort of out of earshot, what's the blue gem to do?
well. Okay, the blue gem. It will summon an elemental. A one-time shot. So when we need it, we throw it to the ground, break it open, and it will be an elemental under our command for 10 minutes.
That's really cool.
It is very, very cool. Very fragile, which is the reason why I was very disturbed when you started throwing it. Please,
I just gently tossed it in the air.
oh,
But
say,
point
when it comes down
taken,
to-
I can see why you'd be nervous about that.
Yes. But
I just realised I've left Stoneheart outside. Need to quickly negotiate it through all the passages.
You'll be
But
fine.
yeah. But yes, it was one of those things that, once again, I didn't want to bring that much to an attention. One, because it could very well be the reason why this person or wizard, I'm most likely wizard, carries on coming back and gets them to do again and again. I do hate how they're being tortured, though. I really hope that we have a chance to sort them out and help them from this pain.
Yeah, we can come back. I mean, one, we want to take all that mithril to the surface. Do you know how much money that's going to be worth? You'd be
That's
able
very
to
true.
outfit everyone in mithril armor with all that mithril and some.
As if we
Then
have
it's
a
a
way of
castle.
proving that.
It's not too difficult.
You say
Apologies,
that
I
now.
return.
Right, with the items plonked down in front of me, though, we will figure out how to try and maneuver all that side of things later. In the meantime, give me a moment. And I cast Identify on the items placed in front of me.
Always just sitting there twiddling her thumbs.
This is a
Ooh,
wand.
I'll get the drow stuff out as well, just in case.
The wand is a wand of conducting.
Wand of conducting.
It is a
What's
wand
that?
that has 3 charges. While holding it, you can take a magic action and expend a charge to create orchestral music by waving it around. The music can be heard to 120 feet away and ends when you stop waving the wand. It regains
Interesting.
all expended uses daily at dawn. If you expend the 3rd charge, you roll a d20. On the sound of a 1, on a roll of a 1, the sad tuba sound plays, and the wand crumbles into dust.
Wah, wah, wah.
Precisely. I'm glad you're understanding.
Right, I've got that. That's in the bag.
And as for the other, that could be quite an interesting one to use for the sake of psychological attack.
The drow breastplate, is a +1 breastplate.
Nice.
It is of drow make, and if it is within the sunlight for 1 hour, it loses its enchantment.
So make sure if you're going to use it, take it off before you go out into the sun.
Or put a cloak on.
Or that. You ensure it is not seen by the sunlight.
I'm assuming breastplate counts as heavy armor.
1 moment.
I mean, it is drow made. It might...
Yeah, it's medium.
Oh yeah, nice.
But the other side of things is drow specially made, so the other side of things is made by elves, so it could be lighter, it's hard to say.
Well, because
Isn't it an improvement for you? Because a breastplate +1 would be AC 15 plus Dex max 2.
That would be rather handy for me, because I do have a dex of +2.
Actually, that's a really good point. I wonder what kind of armor I'm wearing.
None, because barbarians don't wear armor.
Well, that seems kind of stupid.
It's how
You have
your
unarmored
base team-
defense.
That thing does it.
Oh.
Your
okay.
armor is your muscles.
Your armor is a distraction bonus for how swole you are.
Ah.
You are a very hench kitty.
But yeah,
Okay, so
but breastplate.
so the breastplate and the wand of conducting. I'm assuming you. I'll just mark that you're wearing the breastplate. Right. Nafira, not Zafira. So that leads the ring and the scarab trinket.
Neither of which have a magical aura, as you would have seen them before casting Identify for the first time, Ben.
Okay.
So it's a gold ring with main stones embedded in it.
You would know that it is valuable, but not magical.
Which is a fair thing to know anyway.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to throw upon me to try?
Have you ever eaten Umber Hulk?
That was not what I meant. I meant to identify.
Yeah, but that's still a reasonable question. Have you ever eaten Umber Hulk?
I am unaware if I have.
Oh, you missing out, my man.
I'm sure I'm not.
In all fairness, as much for a bit, I was going to get out one of the Umber Hulk legs, but I think that's actually just outdated inventory notes. That needs to be very much deleted.
Yeah, I think we ate it all.
Yeah, when we were back on the surface.
Yeah.
Before it went off.
You
There's a new floor.
head this way.
So
And
yes,
you head down a tunnel that descends further and further under the ground.
Ooh.
Reason's gonna let Clappy perch on his shoulders. Because I feel like that's the easiest way for Clappy to get around right now.
It's a giant eagle that perches over your head.
Yeah, but it needs somewhere for the talons to rest.
I've just been waddling this whole time.
It feels more practical than just to let you keep waddling. Or
You
rather,
head-
maybe you're on Steelheart.
I mean, that's probably more likely. You head deep into the tunnel, and the unworked stone tunnel twists and turns. And then there's a humidity in the air. And the plop, 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 regular sound of water dripping down. And as you approach...
There isn't a warm breeze, is there?
As you approach the space where the tunnel starts to open up again, there's the unmistakable bzzz of insects. And the smell of a wet, humid swamp. And we'll end here.
Based and hungry.
Question. How
yes.
long have we been out of the castle?
How many times do we ritual cast spells?
Oh, God. I'm going to say it's probably reaching up to 3 hours at this point, if not longer, given the number of ritual spells and the distance you've just travelled underground. You've still got about an hour on Wild Shape if you want to remain a giant eagle for now.
Okay, cool.
Be careful! Don't be in that shape longer than that, or you'll be stuck that way.
Yes, the druid suddenly going by the Animorphs rules.
Hello,
That never made sense to me because he couldn't turn back into a dude, but it's like a human is an animal, so why wouldn't that work?
I think, no, he does turn back into himself.
Yeah, in the storyline, he loses the ability to morph, which is more the problem. He's stuck as a bird who can't transform. He then later on regains the ability to transform and can transform back and forth into himself. But his default shape is from that point on the bird.
It's weird because I could have sworn as the bird he... maybe I'm remembering wrong. It's been a while, so...
it later on in the book, he does gain the ability to transform from bird shape into other shapes, which does include being able to be his human self again.
Right.
And ironically, Animorphs RPG needs to be played at some point. But also, for real, the Animorphs book, there is a lot of body horror in there, and you don't realise it growing up.
You really don't. And then you reread some of those descriptions as they're transforming, and you're like, good God, no wonder I am the way I am.
I mean, there are many other reasons that you are the way you are, but, you know.
For years, I had to have something covering my ears because I was afraid of the Yergs.
we can't lay that all at the feet of the Animorphs, but... Anyway.
Can try.
That ad break nicely covered by our discussion of the Animorphs. Wasn't what I was intending to cover the ad break with, but hey, it works.